Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. So let's continue with our discussion on chapter number 9, that is unit and batch costing, that we started in the last lecture. Very easy chapter, as I told you. And in the last lecture we have seen the basics of unit costing, the conceptual part of unit costing, that what all is there in unit costing, right? And some of the important things in unit costing that are to be remembered. Then we discussed about the cost sheet and how to calculate the cost per unit, right? And here specifically I told you to focus on selling and distribution expenses, where the number of units sold should be taken instead of number of units produced, right? So this is all what we have discussed, and this is all what is there in the unit costing. There is nothing else conceptually. If we talk about, there is nothing else in the unit costing. You simply have to prepare the cost sheet and find out the cost per unit. That's it, right? So nothing much to be done extra in this thing. Okay. Now in this lecture, what we are going to do is we are going to do the practical part. Okay, we'll be doing question number 1 and question number 2. Right, sir? So before we start, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get all the notifications in time. And yes, we are going to complete this batch for November 21 students, right? So guys, you can go for it easily, and you have to share it with maximum people who can take the benefit from these lectures. That's very important. Okay, let's continue. The following data relate to the manufacture of a standard product during the 4-week ended 28th of February 2016. Raw material consumed 4 lakh, direct wages 2 lakh 40,000, machine hours worked is 3200 hours, and the machine hour rate is rupees 40. Now this information is given related to your overheads, right? Factory cost, factory overheads. Office overheads 10% of works cost. Selling overheads rupees 20 per unit. Then units produced and sold 10,000 at the rate of 120. Now in this case, units produced and units sold are the same. So that is why I told you in the last lecture also, I told you this, that units produced and sold can be same also, and units produced and sold can be different also, and you have to be careful in this case. In case they are different, you have to be careful, right? So in this case, in this question number 1, the units produced and sold are the same, that is 10,000. You are required to find out the cost per unit and the profit for the 4-week period ended 28th of February, right? So he is asking you to calculate the cost per unit, and from this information, what you have to find out is you have to prepare the cost sheet. Simple, sir. Raw material is given, wages given, overheads given, office overheads given, selling overheads given. So you can prepare simple cost sheet, isn't it? Let's do it. Question number 1. So we'll write it, statement of cost per unit. Statement of cost per unit, right? And here I will write units produced 10,000. Right, sir. Particulars. Now in case of unit costing, there will be 3 columns: particulars, amount, and then per unit, that is cost per unit. Now the first thing is raw material. First is raw material. What is the raw material cost given to you? That is 4 lakh rupees, right? What is the cost per unit? How to calculate the cost per unit, sir? If we divide 4 lakh by 10,000, we will get the cost per unit, that is 40 rupees, right? Number of units produced and sold 10,000. So the total cost is 4 lakh. If I want to find out the cost for 1 unit, that is 40 rupees. Then I have direct wages. Direct wages, how much? 2,40,000. 24 rupees is per unit cost, right? From here what I will get is prime cost, that is 6,40,064 rupees. Any doubts up till this point? Add factory overheads. Add factory overheads, that is to be calculated on the base of machine hours, 3200 multiplied by 40, 3200 multiplied by 40, right? So this comes to 1,28,000. And what is going to be the cost? I will put zeros here because now the cost is going to be in points. 12.80. From here what you will get is factory cost, or what we call it as works cost, right? Works cost is going to be 7,68,000, right? And here it is 76.80. Any doubts up till this point? Clear? Now the next is office overheads related to production activities. It is 10% of works cost. See, you need to be very careful here. Again I am saying this part. There is a difference between factory overheads and factory cost. Factory cost is prime cost plus factory overheads, right? So office overheads is 10% of the cost, not overheads. It is total cost, prime cost plus the factory overheads. Clear? So I'll add I'll add office overheads. I'll add office overheads, right? How much? 10% of factory cost, that is 7,68,000 multiplied by 10%, 76,800, right? And the cost is 7.68. So from here I will get the cost of goods sold. Cost of production or cost of goods sold will be the same because there is no adjustment for finished goods, right? So I'll directly write cost of goods sold. This comes to 8,44,800, right? So the cost here is 84.48. Clear? After that what you take is, after that we are going to take the selling expenses. How much? Rupees 20 per unit, and unit sold is 10,000 multiplied by 20. So this comes to 2 lakh and the price is 20. Clear? From here what we are going to get is cost of sales. Cost of sales, right? That is 10,44,800 and the price is going to be 104.48. Clear up till this point? Any doubts? I hope this is clear. So we are doing nothing, sir. We are just preparing the simple cost sheet that we have learned, right? We are just calculating the per unit cost. That's it. Right? We are not doing anything extra. We are just calculating the per unit cost. Now, what else information is given to you? You are required to find out the cost. Now, raw material is there, selling overheads, office overheads. We have taken everything here. So now we are given the selling price. We are not given the profit. We are given the selling price, that is 120 for each, and we have sold 10,000 units. That means what we are going to take is, we are going to take sales here. Sales, and the price is, total is 12 lakh and the price per unit is given as 120, right? This is given in the question, sir. isn't it? So that means the balancing figure that we are going to get is profit. This profit is going to be our balancing figure. So this is 1,55,200 and 15.52. So the total will be 120. Clear? So we have calculated the profit. He asked us to prepare the find out the cost per unit and the profit. See, this is how we have to do the question. Now this is a very simple question of unit costing. This might not be asked in the examination and this might be asked in the examination, right? With a twist. The twist can be in case you are given the number of units produced are different and number of units sold are different, right? There can be addition of the few things, and you are required to prepare the cost sheet, and you are required to find out the cost per unit, right? Such things have been asked and such things can be asked. It is a combination of cost sheet and the unit costing. Any doubts? Clear? Right, sir. So with this we are done with question number 1. Let's move on to question number 2. Atharva Pharmacare Limited produced a uniform type of product and has a manufacturing capacity of 3,000 units per week of 48 hours. From the records of the company, the following data are available relating to output and the cost of 3 consecutive weeks. Week number 1 to 3, units manufactured 1200, 1600 and 1800. Direct material cost is given and direct wages are given and the factory overheads are given. Assuming that the company charges a profit of 20% on selling price. Okay, I'll highlight this, 20% on selling price. I'm going to highlight it. Okay. Find out the selling price per unit when the weekly output is 2000 units. Now you are given the data for the weekly output of 1200, 1600 and 1800. Now the question says, tell me the selling price if the weekly output is 2000 units, right? So for the selling price, what do you have to take? You have to take direct material also, you have to take direct wages also, you have to take the factory overheads also, isn't it? You will have to take all the 3 things and then add profit to it. That means to find out the selling price at this point, what you will do is you will say direct material for 2000 units plus direct labor for 2000 units plus factory overheads for 2000 units plus profit, right? That will give you the selling price, isn't it? Right or wrong? Right, sir? So let's do one thing. Let's prepare a small format first, right? And then we'll try to analyze that how to go about with this question. Question number 2, statement of cost per unit. Statement of cost per unit for 2000 units, right? How many units? 2000 units. Right, sir. So we are going to write particulars. Then we have amount, that is the total cost, and per unit, cost per unit. So what all do you have? Sir, I will take direct material. How the cost sheet is going to be prepared in this case? Plus direct labor, right? This will give me prime cost. This will give me prime cost. Now in the prime cost, I will add factory overheads. So I'll get works cost. Now this is the total cost, right? There is no other cost. There is no office and administration expenses. There are no selling expenses. So this is my total cost, right? And I'm going to add profit in this. And what I will get is, I'll get the selling price. I'll get selling price, right? Now we have to fill all these figures. Now let's see the question. See, you are given the direct material cost for 1200, 1600 and 1800 units. try to analyze it carefully now. I'm going to take first the direct material cost, because we have to find out for 2000 units direct material cost, right? I'll take here number of units, right? Total cost and cost per unit, right? Now the number of units given to us is 1200, 1600 and 1800, right? Any doubts? And what is the direct material cost given to us? That is 9000, 12,000, 9000, 12,000 and 13,500. Can you tell me the cost per unit, sir? Can you tell me the cost per unit? 9000 divided by 9000 divided by 1200, that is 7.5. Then 12,000 divided by 1600, again 7.5. 13,500 divided by 1800, again 7.5. Now can you see that as my cost goes on increasing, my number of units also increase, right? Or I can say, as my number of units increase, my cost increases proportionately, so that my total my cost per unit remains constant. What I'm saying is, when I am increasing my capacity of producing the more number of units, my total cost will increase proportionately to that, so that my cost per unit will remain same. Now what I have to find out is, I have to find out the cost at 2000 units, right? So if I can say that this cost per unit remains constant, so I will take 7.5 here. Any doubts? I can write the cost per unit will remain same even at 2000 units. So can you tell me what will be the total cost? What will be the total cost? Sir, 15,000. Isn't it? How it is calculated? 2000 units multiplied by 7.5. Sir, why this cost is constant? Because the total cost is increasing proportionately with the increase in number of units. That is why it remains constant at 7.5. That means I can fill here, this amount is 15,000 and price per unit is 7.5. Any doubts in this point? Right? I hope this is clear. Now let's come to the second part, that is the labor cost. Come to the second point, that is direct labor cost. Right? This is what? Material, and now labor cost. Again, number of units, total cost and cost per unit, right? So number of units is 1200, 1600 and 1800. Let's see the total cost. That is 3600, 4800 and 5400. Can you tell me the cost per unit? Can you tell me the cost per unit, sir? 3600 divided by 1200 will give you 3. In the second case, 4800 by 1600, again 3. And in the third case, again 3. Now again the same thing. Sir, the total cost, total labor cost is proportionately increasing with the increase in number of units, so that my cost per unit remains the same, right? As we move on from 1200 to 1600, my total cost will increase in such a way proportionately, so that my total my cost per unit remains at 3 per unit. Clear? So that means if I will go to 2000 units, even then my cost per unit will remain same, that is 3 rupees. Any doubts in this thing? My cost per unit will remain same here. So what is my total cost here? 6,000. Right? Any doubts? So I can write here 6,000 and here 3 rupees. So my total cost here is 21,000 and here it is 10.5. Now coming to factory overheads, let's see. Third part, factory overheads. Now in case of factory overheads, again, number of units, total cost and cost per unit. Number of units will remain the same, 1200, 1600 and 1800. What is my total cost? 31, 33, 34, 31,000, 33,000 and 34,000. Now calculate the cost per unit. Calculate the cost per unit, that is 31,000 divided by 1200 will give you 25.83, 25.83. Then 33,000 divided by 1600 will give you 20.63. Then the last one, 34,000 divided by 1800 will give you 18.88. Now here is the actual problem, that sir, in this case the cost per unit is not constant. As you keep on increasing your units, the total cost will not increase proportionately. It will increase, but it will not increase proportionately, so that the cost per unit remains constant. See, the cost per unit keeps on declining as you go on increasing the number of units, right? Your cost per unit keeps on declining. It is not constant. So that means, sir, in case of factory overheads, this cost is having two elements, that is, one is the variable element, and other is the fixed element. That means this is my semi-variable cost, right? This is my semi-variable cost. So the question here is, sir, how to calculate the cost per unit now in this case? How to calculate what will be my factory overheads in this case now? Listen to it very carefully. Right? Now see, the number of units were 1200 and 1600. I'll take the first two ones only. The cost is 31,000 and another cost is 33,000. That means if you change 400 units, your cost that will change is 2,000. The rest of the cost will remain the same. So this part is my variable cost, isn't it? This is my variable cost. What is a variable cost? The cost which changes with the change in the level of activity. So if we change the level of activity by 400 units, my cost that will change is 2,000. So this 2,000 is my variable cost. Okay, listen to it again very carefully. I'm saying variable cost is that cost which changes with the change in the level of activity, output. So if my output increases from 1200 to 1600 units, that is a change of 400, there is a change in the cost by 2000 rupees. That means this 2000 rupees is my variable cost. Any doubts in this thing? Right? So can you tell me the variable cost per unit here? Variable cost per unit is equal to 2000 divided by 400, that is rupees 5. Right? Now let's consider this week, this 1600 part, right? Total cost for 1600 units. Total cost for 1600 units is 33,000. Now this 33,000 is having some part as variable and some part as fixed. Now how to calculate this variable part? Sir, we have calculated variable cost for 1 unit is 5 rupees. So can you tell me the variable cost for 1600 units multiplied by 5? That is 8,000. So out of 33,000, 8,000 is variable and the rest part is fixed. Right? So fixed is 33,000 minus 8,000, that is 25,000. Now this part is going to remain fixed at all the levels, right? So what we have done is we have first calculated the variable cost per unit by taking the data for 2 different weeks, right? So we calculated the change in the cost and the change in the level of activity. From there we calculated the variable cost. Then we took any of the weeks. You can take week 1 also, you can take week 2 also, you can take week 3 also, right? So there is absolutely no issues in that. You can take any of the weeks. It is not necessary or hard and fast rule that you have to take week number 2. You can solve the question with week number 1 also, right? The answer is going to remain the same. The fixed cost will remain 25,000 only, right? I have taken week number 2, that for 1600 units total cost is 33,000, out of which what is the variable cost? Variable cost is number of units multiplied by variable cost per unit, 8,000, and remaining part 25,000 is my fixed part. Clear? So this is how you have to solve the question when there is a semi-variable cost. First calculate the variable cost per unit, then take the data for any of the years or any of the weeks, right? Calculate the variable and the fixed part. Now coming to, sir, we have to calculate it for 2000 units. For 2000 units, what will happen, sir? What will happen for 2000 units? Again, 2000 units will have 2 components, right? One is variable and the other one is fixed. Sir, what is going to be the variable cost? 2000 multiplied by 5, that is 10,000. And what is going to be the fixed part? 25,000 as calculated. So the total cost will be 35,000 at 2000 units. Any doubts? Total cost will be 35,000, right, at 2000 units. So that means if I have to write here, I will write 35,000 factory cost, right? 35,000. Any doubts in this part? Clear, sir? And this price per unit is going to be 17.50. So my works cost here will be 56,000 and 28. Now the point is how to calculate profit. He has given that profit is 20% on selling price, and in the whole of costing you have to be very careful that whether the profit is given on the cost or whether the profit is given on the selling price. Now listen to it very carefully. This is going to be really helpful. Okay, now you are given that profit is equal to 20% of selling price. Clear? That means let selling price be X. But here we have, let's see, okay, here we have profit to be calculated on cost, right? Because we don't have the selling price. So that means we need the profit to be calculated on cost, but we are given the profit on selling price. Now what should we do, sir? Okay, we'll try to find out if the profit percentage on selling price is 20%, then what is going to be the profit percentage on cost? We can calculate it. Let selling price be 100 rupees. If the selling price is 100 rupees, my profit will be 20% of 100, that is 80 rupees. 20 rupees, right? What will be my cost? What will be my cost? 100 minus 20, 80 rupees. Any doubts up till this point? Sir, my selling price is 100. My profit, it says 20% of selling price. That means 20% of 100. 20 rupees is my profit. What is my cost? 80 rupees. Now, what I want to find out is, I want to find out the profit percentage. Profit as a percentage of cost. I have earned 20 rupees. What is this 20 rupees as a percentage of this cost? That is 20 divided by 80 multiplied by 100, right? So this comes to 25% of cost. So that means if the question says that profit is 20% of selling price, it is equivalent to 25% of cost. Clear? This is really important because this is one point which will come in many of the chapters and where the institute will always trick you. What you will do in the examination, we are always in a hurry to read the question, right? We'll quickly read the question and we will just see the profit word and the percentage part. That's it. We are not going to see what is this percentage given on selling price or this percentage is given on the cost. We are least concerned in the examination, and this is where we commit mistakes. Clear? So if the profit percentage, firstly, you have to read it very carefully that profit percentage is on the selling price or the profit percentage is given on the cost. If it is given on the selling price, convert it into the profit percentage on cost, right? 20% of selling price equal to 25% of cost, right? And if it is given 25% of selling price, it will be 33.33% of cost, right? So the profit is 25% of cost. So this is 25% of 56,000. Any doubts? So this comes to 14,007 rupees. So what is going to be my selling price? 70,000, right? And here 35 rupees. Now this is what was required. Calculate the selling price per unit at 2,000 units. So this is an important question. If we talk about the unit costing, this is a very good question which often creates confusions, I can say. Right, so this is how you have to solve it. Calculate for the direct material, direct labor, and this is the most important part, that is the factory overheads, calculation of the semi-variable cost. See, I have taken here week 1 and week 2. You can solve it by taking week 1 and 3. You can solve it by taking week 2 and 3. You can solve it by any method. The answer is going to remain the same. Here also I have taken 1600 units. You can solve it by 1200 units. You can solve it by 1800 units. Right? You can take any of the week's data. The answer is going to remain the same. Clear? So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to take 1 and 2, you have to take 1 and 3, or you have to take 2 and 3. You can take any of your choice. That is absolutely up to you. Clear? So with this we end unit costing. There is nothing else to be done in the unit costing. From the next lecture we will move on to batch costing, and rest of the questions, question number 3, 4, 5, 6, all are from the batch costing, right? Again, very simple batch costing, very simple, right? So we'll continue in the next lecture with batch costing, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.